Do you see the consumption pattern changing anytime soon?
We are already moving away from search. Now what we are doing is we're going on ChatGPT and talking. Right? So we're moving from looking to talking.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll be talking a lot.
Conversations.
Conversation is what is gonna take over.
You're not a marketer, you're a designer, is what you call yourself. What is it that you've cracked? You can design teams as big as like a Microsoft and an Apple.
Yeah. It's all start with what is the vision? What is that you want to create?
Right.
And to create what are different roles in the world. So once you have the people together, it's not enough. You need to create a culture of creativity.
Correct.
Where people come, discuss and talk a lot of ideas.
Correct.
And test them together.
A student from some college did a few content pieces online. One of them got very viral and it's suddenly like, wow, I can do content, and if I can do content for myself, I can do it for brands as well. What do you think of those people?
Being ambitious is good. I was young when I started my agency.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
So I won't discourage them. It doesn't mean definitely a good entry to the career. I don't think it's wrong. I think if you feel like you do it, always try to be critical about yourself. Try to understand if you're really adding value or not.
Hello, BOFam. Today, I'm thrilled to have Aman, the founder of Insane Marketers, one of India's top agencies in performance marketing. Aman is a visionary, and here's why I'm excited to share his story with you. He believes he has what it takes to build the next Google. Ambitious? Absolutely. But his journey and his relentless hustle in marketing backs him up. Aman left university after just one semester, feeling it wasn't worth his time or money. Despite not having a degree, he's built a multi-million-dollar company from the ground up. In this episode, we dive deep into his story, the unique ventures he started to earn money early on, the challenges of running a bootstrap agency, and the specialized skills it takes to thrive in today's competitive market. Beyond business, Aman's interest in philosophy and spirituality shine through. This conversation has it all, from business insights to his personal beliefs and funny moments as a founder. This podcast will give you insights and tools to grow not only as a business leader, but also in ways you didn't expect. But before we jump ahead, make sure to share this, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. So let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Barely Opinionated show. I have a very, very good friend with me, Mr. Aman. Aman is the founder of Insane Marketers, which is one of India's biggest performance marketing companies.
Yes. So we have been doing performance for a while.
What is a while?
7 years almost.
7 years.
Yes.
Okay.
We pivoted. Now we are known as Insane Labs. Largely, world is still knows us with Insane Marketers.
Okay.
But now we are a media and a content company.
So you're pivoting from just doing performance to other services as well.
Yes. We are already doing events, experiences, and a lot of content.
Got it. So there's a lot that I want to unpack with you. So for the audience, I've known Aman for close to a year now. We met through an event, and that's how we started chilling together. And I wanted to have you because you run a very big marketing agency. I myself have dabbled into this domain and I hate it, right?
No.
So I wanted to understand from you, you've been doing it for 7 years and that is your core business. For me, that is not the core business, right?
Yes.
For you, this is the core business, and managing it at such a large scale is mind-boggling. So I want to unpack all of that, but let's start with you, Aman.
Yes.
So you've been doing Insane for 7 years, but how did you get into doing Insane, building Insane Marketers?
Damn. It all starts with creating a game.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about creating things.
Okay.
And I've been a young gamer. So I would play 11 hours a day, 12 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And at some point I needed to be in games.
What sort of games did you play?
I used to play Counter-Strike. I loved strategy games like Age of Empire.
Oh, I love Age of Empires, bro.
You do?
I still play sometimes just to know.
We should do it. All right. I'll crush you too.
I'm sure.
Man, I'm ruthless in games.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know that.
Yes.
You have this sudden spike of cockiness, like I told you yesterday.
Damn, yeah. So, it all starts as a game. I dropped out from my college to start a game company.
Oh.
Made a game.
Which year is this? Tell me that.
I think 10 or 11.
2010, 2011.
2011, yeah.
Okay, and you were studying, you did some engineering.
So I went from Manipal Institute.
Here.
Udupi.
Udupi, okay.
Yeah. And I dropped out to start the game company.
Okay.
I just did one semester.
Okay.
That's about it. And I'm like, I'm done. I should do something of my own. And I made the game. I released it.
You made the game yourself? You had someone with you?
No, I made the game. I did a lot of development part, design part.
Okay.
The graphic design and animation was taken care by someone.
Like, what sort of a game was it? Like,
It was a very simple. The game we play in Chrome when the internet is not there. Right, very simple jump
Something like that.
endless games. See, the idea was to enter into gaming through small Android games and web-based games. And back then I used to have a couple of pages with almost 7-8 million followers on
in
Facebook.
2010-11?
Yes.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
OG creator.
OG creator. But the day I released my game, that day Facebook decided to unpublish all my pages. And I had no traffic left.
But why?
So
Posting some problematic content?
yeah, I was I was a big spammer.
I thought you were going to say scammer.
Not a scammer, it's a big spammer.
Okay.
Yeah. Zuck doesn't like me much. Still deletes my ad accounts. But yeah, so I realized that to be able to promote the game, I need to get into marketing. And that's how I entered into marketing.
Interesting.
After that, I soon joined a company to build their digital marketing and web teams. And that's where I dabbled into multiple things like SEO, like Facebook ads and all of this.
This is again 2011, 2012?
12, 13.
Okay.
1 year down the line.
Okay.
And then after that, after I worked there for 1 year. This was an NGO.
Before you jump ahead, I want to know, what was your parents' reaction or family's reaction to you dropping out and doing this?
Oh, damn. So,
because right now, a lot of students want to drop out and fucking do content, huh? Like, people just want, like, one reel will go viral, they're like, ha, take care, this is my career now.
It's very interesting. So, like, I, first semester was done, and I was motivated to do something of my own. So, I went to my dad, and I said, Dad, I want to drop out. And I opened, so I had already made a plan how I want to do things after dropping out.
Okay.
So I opened my notebook. I started discussing that with my dad. Once I explained the entire plan, I told him, you will need to pay me 8,000 rupees per month. And that's about it. You will save 5 lakh rupees in fee, which you're paying me. And my dad is like a businessman, right?
Acha, paise bach rahe tab tak theek hai.
Yeah, so he's like, here I have to pay 96,000, here I have to pay 5 lakh. Which one is better? So, well, he said, okay.
Oh, really? Not too much?
Nothing at all.
Oh, crazy.
Nothing at all. He was very happy I was dropping.
Was he supportive of the idea of you dropping out? Because generally the tendency of Indian parents is that, ki bhai, degree to chahiye before you do anything.
Yeah, so with my dad, he was supportive of me dropping out.
Okay.
Because he was saving money. My mom was not, on the other hand, a lot. But she was okay. She was supportive of me. Like, whatever you want to do. But you should not drop out. That's what her concern was. And yeah, she still says that sometimes. But so I dropped out. And 1 month later, I went to my dad and I said, give me that 8,000 bucks you promised. And he's like, which 8,000 bucks?
That's why you always should have a written contract with a businessman.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I learned that lesson from my dad. Thank you, Dad.
Okay, so let's jump ahead. So you worked at NGO. You designed their digital marketing and all of that.
Yeah.
Then?
So I worked there for 1 year, helped them establish some authority on Facebook, created their web presence and everything. And 1 year down the line, I thought it's time for me to get back to it again.
Okay.
I dropped out to... Then I started... I left that to start a company called Insane Developers.
Okay.
That time I did a lot of things.
So the word insane that you use now has existed from over a decade now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, yes. So I developed Android apps. I also ran dropshipping business.
Oh.
I was doing website development for a couple of clients. And 2 more things I don't even remember.
So these are things that are trending now, like dropshipping courses people sell, website development courses people sell.
Yes.
How is that? What is the difference between doing it now and doing it 10 years ago?
I was very fortunate so like this all goes back to the first time I use the computer,
Okay.
right? Journey starts from there. I'm going in a line. I don't know where I'm going in my school.
Okay.
I know my computer teacher comes and they tell me to go somewhere, and I'm following the line because we are heard, right?
Mm.
And then we enter the computer lab. For the first time, I see computer,
Mm-hmm.
right?
This is when?
This is 6th class.
2006, 7?
Could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so much maths. So I'm going there and I see the computer for the first time and I'm like, what is this box?
Huh.
And then for the first time, I use the mouse to move the cursor, and that felt magical to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they asked us to open Paint,
Mm-hmm.
and I drew for the first time on screen. So that is the time when I realized that this is something I absolutely love. Computers are something which is an open or new world to me, and I'm fascinated by it. And after that, I just kept on asking for a computer from my parents. After 4 years of persistence, they finally decided to give me computers, and I just nerded out.
Got it.
So I was early into a lot of things because I would go on forums, I'll go on Reddit and go on different places to read about things. And
Reddit was famous back then?
Because I had access of computer and internet, I was able to get into a lot of things early on.
Right.
So most of the things which I was doing then was still great, especially in West.
Mm-hmm.
I was following a lot of West people. But I think from then to today, market has evolved. The way you do things, the strategies are evolved. But I don't see that the concept has changed a lot.
Fundamentals are still the same.
Fundamentals.
But I think it's become much easier to do it, right? Like, for example, building a website no more requires code. Like, no code website is a thing. And drop shipping, there are companies that are just making things much easier for you to do drop shipping as well. So I'm guessing all of that has become much easier than what it was, say, 10 years ago.
Definitely, the ecosystem has evolved. Right? It's so much easier. I think drop shipping has gone harder because there are so many people to do it. But I think ecosystem allows you to do things much, much faster. So
why don't you tell people your drop shipping, what did you do in drop shipping?
Oh, damn. There's this website called AliExpress.
Yeah.
You know about it?
Yeah, of course.
Right? They have damn good products.
Of course.
Right? It's a website by Alibaba.
Correct.
So what we'll do is we'll try to figure out what are the trending keywords which people search on Google. From there, we try to understand what products they would want. We'll go and search it on AliExpress, right? We'll estimate what are the products which is more likely to sell, which has more demand, right? So we'll pick those up, the images, the description, and everything else. Put it on the WordPress website we make. We used to make it on WooCommerce, and then Shopify came in later. Then we started doing Shopify websites. And then we'll run ads on those in US.
Okay.
So if I'm getting
These are Google ads, Facebook ads.
Facebook ads, mainly Facebook.
ads.
So if something is for $2, like one product which became very big was Harry Potter necklace. The triangle and the circle and the
got it.
Yeah, the wand, right? So that became so I have sold those hundreds and hundreds every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah, I have made thousands of dollars doing this. So
how much do you get for how much do you sell it for?
I would get it for maybe $1, $1.50. With shipping, it would cost me $4. I might sell it for $15, $20.
Oh, wow.
So the margins were insane.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just had to take the order, put it on AliExpress.
And that time there was not too much of like copyrights and trademark and all of that, right? So
they were all.
No, then you wouldn't be able to sell a Harry Potter product if.
So I have gotten CDNs from brands.
Okay.
But I'll continue to do it here and there. I didn't understand. I just understood demand and I understood how to sell. But I never understood this
Legalities.
and all, and I didn't know this is wrong or unethical or
Got it.
illegal, right? So I would just do it because it excited me, gave me energy. But as I understood it, I moved out of it.
That's very cool. So, in some podcast, I think it was Nikhil Kamath's podcast only, one about retail businesses.
Yeah.
Raj Shamani was talking about his how he started his business or sort of thing, and he also did drop shipping, is what he said, right? So he would buy that string thing for cutting vegetables. He would buy it from, I think, AliExpress only or from Meesho, I don't remember.
Yeah.
He would list it on Amazon and then sell it on Amazon. Buy it for 100, sell for 1,000 like that.
Damn.
But then he was saying that at the end he realized that he made money, but then it wasn't too much because commissions were getting cut, like return orders and all of that. Was that not an issue for you back then?
I think you can still do drop shipping and scale it. I was still a very small player.
Mm-hmm.
I would make a few $1,000 every month, but there were people making millions back then also.
Yeah, but then few $1,000 is a lot as a, I'm guessing, a 18, 19, 20-year-old.
22, 23.
23-year-old guy, right?
So, yeah, no. But then there are people who are doing millions selling products from AliExpress to people.
Got it.
It still is very scalable business. But for me, the change or the thought was that I don't own the product.
Got it.
You can't build a brand out of
just selling, just drop shipping.
Yeah, you have to have end-to-end control over everything you do.
Correct.
To make customer experience great.
Correct.
And that's when you make a brand. So these were all steps. These were all, in hindsight, I see that these are everything which made me who I am. Steps of learning to building brands, actually.
Very interesting. Okay, before I jump ahead, tell me this. If someone has to start drop shipping, if say a 20-year-old kid wants to start a drop shipping business today, how could they do it? Same strategy? Look for keywords, find what people are buying.
It's been 7, 8 years, 10 years, I guess. I think the fundamentals are same. Try to figure out where is the demand of what, and try to figure out how you can get that. So you have to find the hungry and you have to find the food and bridge that. So that's the fundamental.
Yeah, but how do they do it is my question. If you had to do it today, what would you do?
I'll not do it.
Say we have Assamese, our in-house Jamie, right? If he had to do it, how could he do it? Give him. He wants to know how can he start a drop shipping business.
Don't start.
Wow.
Yeah, he's convinced. He's sold. So I think because my mindset is evolved, and if I have to give an advice to a 20-year younger self, I'll tell them, if you want to really start something, start a brand. Again, try to figure out what your passion is, what you do, what is something you can talk about consistently. Try to figure out where you can find something you can sell in that line. And since you understand yourself really well, that is your primary audience. You can get product easily manufactured. It's not really hard with some investment. And you can put it on Amazon and start selling. So it's not that hard. Requires a little figuring out. That's it.
Bro, but a 20-year-old, say 20 to 25-year-old, the biggest problem in life is money, right? Every person in that age group wants some stability in income, wants some money, right? Building a brand is a much long-term process.
Okay, fair. Build a product you love, or rather figure out products which you can sell. And still getting them manufactured is not very, very hard. I was talking to a friend of mine recently. He's a creator himself. So he's into marketing, and a lot of brands come to him to ask him for, or a lot of manufacturers come to him to ask for promoting and growing his brand. So when they come to him, early stage brands, he tell them that I'll own 33% of that. and I'll do entire marketing. And most of them, a lot of them actually agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because he has one key skill, which they don't have.
Selling.
So, yeah. So I really feel money is not a barrier. Right? It's like if money is not there, you have to figure out a way to get money also.
Got it.
And there are enough people to fund if you can actually show that
you can do it.
Yes. So it's not like a big barrier. Like we have so many. Zepto is a massive example of that, right? Like those like kids. I don't know whether I can call them kids or not, but kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But their inspiration.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Anyway, coming to your story. So 2014ish, you were doing drop shipping. You get started. Insane Labs.
No, Insane Labs is now.
Okay.
I started Insane Developers, build a couple of websites. So we would design websites on WordPress, assemble it and everything, and saw a gap in marketing. That's how we entered into marketing. And first we started helping people grow Instagram. So we'll do a lot of hacks to grow people's Instagram.
When? 2016?
Yes, 14, 15. Yeah. I still have some 7-8 pages with combined 3 million followers.
Oh, wow.
On Instagram. Yeah.
Inactive?
Active.
Active? Who's active?
So I have a co-founder in that, Prashant.
Oh, wow.
You met Prashant?
Yeah.
He manages those.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so 3 million followers. And here and there I've done a lot of things. And then I started doing Facebook ads and funnels.
Okay.
That's where the real shape of Insane came.
Got it.
Our first client for that Facebook ads was 91 Springboard.
Oh.
And then we got Mamaearth.
Oh, wow.
Mamaearth.
Which year is this?
So this is 2018.
Okay, but how did you reach them?
Mamaearth was in very early stage. Varun was still exploring. He had a couple of products going on.
Varun Alag, the
founder, right? And one of my friends, Saurabh, he basically connected us to.
Okay.
And we met a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, and we felt it can be done together. So we started working.
Very cool.
Yeah. We scaled their entire performance bit back then. So, and we contributed to their brand building today. So
that's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. So 91 Springboard, same story.
91 Springboard, we did well. I won't say we contributed to their scale, but definitely Mamaearth was the breakpoint or breakthrough for us. From there, we never looked back. We started getting a lot of inquiries.
So this started shaping up in 2017.
So 16, 17, I was still doing Instagram. 18 is when we started seriously working on Insane marketers. We were still operating with the name of Insta Marketers before that.
Okay.
So 2018 is where Insane really started doing its bit. We started focusing on Facebook ads. We got 91 Springboard. We got Mamaearth and a couple of other clients. We started doing them.
So since then, which is 2017, 2018, the concept of Instagram was not what it is right now, right?
Yeah.
That back then it was still a place where I was just following my friends and I was just catching up with my friends and you could see what your friends are doing. They could see what I'm doing, all of that, right?
Yeah.
To what it is now, you've been using the back end of those platforms to run ads and everything.
Yes.
Since then.
Yeah.
What is a major shift that you've seen in these platforms from that time to now?
I think the core idea of Facebook was to nurture friendships.
Right.
Instagram was to be a catalog.
Correct.
But today it's consumption of content. It's a distribution media for the interest you are interested in. Whatever you are interested in, it will give you that. From my POV, the shift has gone from fostering connection to become a content engine. Is that major shift on both the platforms.
And do you think that is simply because of TikTok?
Absolutely. Yeah. TikTok has created a irreversible behavior in humans, and I think even LinkedIn had to introduce
short form videos.
Yeah, so
every platform is going to short
form. Platform has to introduce. I think our capacities to watch longer content has gone down. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It sucks though. I
does.
hate the.
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm with you 100%. What's your opinion on it?
No, I hate the idea that that like my brain, I can't stop. Like I have to do something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always on my phone.
Yeah.
Especially because that's where my business is as well.
Yeah.
There is no platform anymore where you can just be to catch up with your friends.
Yeah.
Every platform wants to retain you as much as possible, and they'll do whatever they can to retain.
Yeah. It's so fucked up.
It's very fucked.
It's very fucked up, dude. So, but one thing I absolutely hate is when I look at my dad and he being on mobile, right? So he plays this game called
Candy Crush.
no, it's a game by these Clash of Clan guys on Royal something, right? And he has been playing that game for years now.
Oh,
and he's addicted to that game, literally addicted to that game, right? Like, he will open up, collect the mystery boxes every 3 hours. He'll remember every single detail. The game is so gamified to keep bringing you back. That has become a large part of my dad now, right? And knowing that it's an addiction, I cannot do anything.
correct.
Same with me, right? Like, sometimes I find myself looking at Instagram while I'm driving. So, I mean, while like I'm on signal,
Yeah.
not driving, but I'm on signal and I have like 60 seconds. So I'm like, let's consume 3 reels, right? Why not? Most of the things which were created to entertain us have basically hijacked us.
And it's not just us, it's like every generation. Like for example, my grandmother is like, we got her an iPad because she was bedridden for some reason. We got an iPad for entertainment, and now she's always on Facebook scrolling through content. My parents do the same thing, and like you said, your dad plays one game. My parents have been playing Candy Crush for over a decade, literally over a decade, right? And same thing. So
Damn. It's so hard.
Now, although we're talking about this, it's very contradictory for you to say this.
Yeah.
Because you're the reason
100%.
people are watching those ads.
Even you are. We both are part of the system, dude.
We both are part of the system. But more you than me, because you're the one who's helping other people sell
that. You are building more content than me every single day. You are bigger culprit. I'm not taking this.
But anyway, your company is basically based on the fact that how can you get someone's attention and sell them something.
100%.
What is the psychology behind doing something like that? Like, did you start doing it just because of the money that you were seeing in the market? Or was there any particular reason that you jumped into this?
When I started doing marketing, I loved it. I think the whole idea of coming up with a message and distributing it excites me. Even today. The whole idea of building something and growing is, it's just super exciting. So, I entered into marketing for that. There is a dark side to marketing. Like, when you come in the system, you realize that whatever we see might not be entirely true.
Correct.
Not entirely authentic. And most of the brands, and when I say 99% of the brands are not authentic as they try to be.
Correct.
Right? But then that's marketing. That's what marketing is, to build perception.
Correct.
So at some point I stopped seeing it from the lens of good and bad, and started seeing from the lens of that the role of marketing is to do that, right? And anyway, people get to know how things are through word of mouth. You can't stop truth.
Correct.
Right? So the brands which are really doing great work will continue to do great work, and people will continue to talk about it.
Correct.
And then there will be brands who will come, do shady stuff, and will wipe out in a decade or 5-6 years.
Correct.
Right? So my job as marketer is to try and work with those brands who claim to be authentic, and as much as we feel they're authentic. But that doesn't mean that we have not worked with shady brands. We definitely have worked with brands who might not be as ethical as like we thought they were.
Any particular case that you'd want to talk about? Don't mention names, but tell us.
A large part of in scene was or is in helping a lot of coaches who teach, right? In education space, and I feel like I can't really know, or most of us cannot really know that, or it's very subjective. Education is very subjective.
Correct.
Right. So you can't really know if someone is they're true or not. But like also whenever I meet people, whenever I go to learn from these people, I've always found value. Right. So I can't really know who is not adding value or who's adding value. Right. It's very hard line to be put on. But having said that, a lot of these people have bad reputation in the market. Right? So I don't know if customers are not finding value, they're talking about it.
Got it. And do you drop these people who you see that they're not giving enough value or they're cheating customers in some way?
We have actively tried not taking those clients up.
Got it.
Right? We failed a couple of times, but we have said no to clients we feel are which doesn't align with our values.
Got it. Which is the one like big company that you think has created a completely different perception of themselves than what they actually are? Could be an organization, could be a company, could be a multinational, could be a startup, anything.
Most of them.
Tell me one that, like, when I asked you this question, which is the one company that came to you?
I mean, you see SBI's ad, right? What does the ad communicates?
I can't recall.
I mean, all the ads will communicate that we are reliable.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
correct.
At core, there is one emotion, one line, right? Nothing against SBI, but like you go there, you have to stand in the queue. You have to experience all kind of difficulties.
Old school website.
You have to experience all those kind of difficulties which they claim they are not. Not bad or good, right? That's how it is. Marketing creates certain perception which is not true for even brands like Apple. Right? They say they try to make
innovative.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Apple is all marketing, right? Like, I mean, they obviously have great products, but it's a lot to do with the marketing as well.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, Apple is too overused to cliche example, but yeah. But I'm saying, like, definitely they have created that perception. I'm absolutely Apple product lover also.
Yeah.
So I feel they also create great products.
Yeah.
And they are all ecosystem play, and their ecosystem is amazing as well. But still, the way you see the ad, the transformation they show you in their ads, that's not entirely true. You're still human.
Correct.
So I think there is evil in marketing and there is goodness in marketing. Marketing helps you take your word out. If you're doing great, you are using marketing to go out and change the world. Apple did that. Nobody can deny that. But also it creates the perception which might not be fully true.
Correct.
So it has both the edges.
Like Apple, for example, created a false sense of narrative. Like, I don't know if they created or it just built up that if you own some Apple product, then you're
special.
Posh, you're special. Like, sure. If you see someone holding an iPhone, you immediately know that they have some value or they are rich.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Which is why India has 70% of iPhones are sold on EMI itself. Right? Which is, again, like I
didn't know that.
That's a fucked up scenario where there was actually a recent video. So there's this creator called Mohak Mangal, who I really love on YouTube. I think he only made the video on how people that can't afford basic needs are buying iPhone just to create that perception, and that too on EMI, buying like old iPhone just to have that iPhone tag, right?
Yeah.
So that itself is crazy. But anyways, switching from that, let's complete your journey, right? So you started doing this 2017, 2018. First clients were 91 Springboard and Mama Earth. And what has been the journey like since then? Because again, there are a lot of ups, and every agency, what I've understood, has a cycle, right? And that's a yearly cycle. There'll be a very upside. You will see everything going up, and then suddenly things will start going down because of market conditions. Again up, again down, again up. I'm sure you've had to go through this again and again.
I mean, at least once in every year, once I think about why am I doing this. The journey to be a founder or starting something yourself, I mean, you being a founder yourself will relate to this. And growing it is, again, absolutely fucked up.
Yeah.
Like the journey since we started to where we are has broken me down enough times. Like so much that I've been depressed for a large part of my career. To always reinvent myself and re-innovate myself to become someone new, right? And it has happened often. Like every year, suddenly something will fuck up, and I'll have to rethink, right? So the journey has been very uncertain.
But don't those moments make you want to give up? Like, why haven't you stopped yet? Because I know you've, like, because I know you personally, you've told me money is not a motivation anymore.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
What makes you continue doing the same thing, which is making you feel so fucked up?
Right now, I don't feel fucked up. Right now, I feel that this last decade has been making me someone which I would not have been seen in hindsight.
Right.
Right now, I feel that I'm all super powerful. I feel that in next decade is gonna be the biggest decade of my life. And next decade is gonna bring out things which I could not have imagined, or 22 year of Aman could not have imagined. Right? So I feel absolutely amazing.
There's a term for this, you'll have to censor it, Adarsh. Huh? It's called BD, big energy.
Sure.
Censor it, please.
Yeah, I'm having that BD, big energy. Damn, what does it mean though?
Just like, so if you see a confident person, right, like in public, why do you see that tall people are usually more confident than short people?
Sure.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that general. And if a short person is very confident, it's because...
Yeah, 100%.
That's the general understanding.
That's true also.
Okay. So, now tell me this, if... I'll come to you again, but if a 20-year-old Aman has to get to where you are right now, I know you've had your own journey. But if they had to start all over again, what would be something that you would tell them? How could they start? Where could they start practically?
Yeah, you keep asking this question, different forms.
Yeah. Practical, bro. Like
practical. Yeah. What steps, huh?
Yeah, like
I'm not practical. I'm not that person, dude. I don't look at things in steps. You got to understand. It's not that you do this, right? I'm very driven by ideas. As a person, right? Like I've got this idea, I'll experiment it. It works out great, doesn't work out, move to next. That's how I do things. That's how my team does things.
Interesting.
Right. So we are not about steps at all as company.
Oh.
So what you're seeking is not something I have.
No, but just to probe you a little bit, like for example, you have an idea. Say for example, your idea is ki, theek hai, now it's time for me to move away from not just do performance but do something else, right? That's the idea. But to bring that idea to life, you would have certain things that you would need to do to bring that idea to life.
My job as a CEO is to bring people together.
Got it.
Right? So
bring the right people together in a room.
Right. My job is to make the cricket team or the football team.
Got it.
And the coach or the captain like whichever, or I am the captain of the ship, right? I am just thinking about the direction of the ship. I'm only handling that much. Every other part of that is handled by someone else. Right? So my day-to-day goes into thinking about who are the right fit, who are the people who can come and solve for this specific issues, right? Which I can see in the camp. Couple of things which I gained from experience or I learned, which helped me make success or bring success for me, the kind of success I feel for myself, is learning how to think, especially critical thinking, to be able to get into data and understand what is not really working, what is breaking down, and solving that, right? So critical thinking, problem solving, logical reasoning, all of this really helped and shaped. So a 20-year-old person, if can learn this, can definitely outperform their counterparts. Right?
But do you recommend a 20-year-old jumping into entrepreneurship?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think one should easily work till 30, 35, maybe even till 40. Learn from a lot of managers, a lot of people. Try to have a mentor if possible, and then jump into it. Right? Most of the billionaires, most of the biggest successful people were not dropouts or like these are prodigies. These are exceptionals. These are geniuses. Right?
You hear about dropout, like Mark Zuckerberg dropout, Bill Gates dropout. All those are exceptional cases.
All those are exceptional cases, and those are very romantic stories. They become really big, right? But
like there are thousands of Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg who didn't make it.
Yeah. So in fact, I don't suggest this journey at all. If it's meant for you, it will take you. Right? You don't choose to become an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur chooses you. So that's how I feel about it. So if you really have that kida in you, if you really have that you will do it, then you will do it. You can't stop yourself.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So now moving from that, since you've been in this industry for so long, you've seen the shift in the way people consume content, right? Do you see the consumption pattern changing anytime soon? Like the recent shift happened, I think 2019, 2020 was the major shift, right?
Yeah.
TikTok and 2020, COVID sort of amplified that even further, right?
Yeah.
And that's why the drastic shift happened.
Yeah.
But do you see any shift that you think will come?
100%.
What is the shift that you're looking at?
I think so. We are already moving away from search.
Okay.
Right. Our natural habit was to search things on Google.
Correct.
Right. We have a question, we'll go on Google and search it and read the articles. But now what we are doing is we're going on ChatGPT and talking. Right. So we're moving from looking to talking, finding to talking.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll be talking a lot.
Conversation
is what is gonna take over, and it's gonna be more voice than
text.
So our world will start shaping around voice now.
Abhi to ChatGPT has released a search engine also.
Yeah. So like I still feel search engine, I don't know. I feel every day it's becoming irrelevant, search engine, because this conversation itself is enough.
Correct.
And we'll see the merger of voice and screens a lot more.
Okay.
Right? We'll have new devices coming in, which is a lot more voice enabled, but also is very specific for smaller things.
Got it.
So that's what I feel.
Got it. Okay, coming to now, when you work with your clients, first tell me this, what has been in your journey of 7 years, the most nightmare client that you had to work?
Most nightmare client?
Nightmare client, like...
Actually, none of the clients were nightmare to me.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता.
No, I'll tell you. Why? Because, like, I've been quite egoistical as a founder.
Okay.
Right? I have a lot of sense of importance in me.
Okay.
And whenever I felt a client is not playing as a partner, I would let go.
Interesting.
Recently, I've not been doing that. But until 1.5 years ago, I would definitely do that.
But that's a strong power that not everyone has. No. So that's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Ki getting to that level also, where you have that power to choose कि ठीक है ये मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लग रहा,
Yeah.
let me drop him.
Yeah.
Because I am also in this industry, I talk to so many people in this industry as well. A lot of them are just scrambling to manage their cash flows and keep up with the business, right? And you in some way have moved away to have to do that and are much more stable in your business. What is it that led you to getting here?
A lot of small things done right.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, if I have to go back and tell a 20-year-old to build a team or a company, the first thing would be to learn how to build a team.
Okay.
Right. So that I think has been like the biggest learning of the decade for me.
Got it. How to build a team.
How to build a team.
So, you've spoken a lot about this with me, that you're not a marketer, you're a designer.
Yeah.
Is what you call yourself, right?
Yeah.
What is it that you've cracked? And you say you also said that you can design teams as big as like a Microsoft and an Apple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What is it that you figured out that has led you to believe that you can do this?
A lot of different pieces. Like I think the way I want to answer this is, I remember the movie Slumdog Millionaire, right? It's a beautiful storytelling, right? Like, how did he knew all the answers was not a straight line, right? So the answer is not a straight line. Right?
Interesting, yeah.
A lot of different things, just
different situations together sort of got you these.
So one day suddenly I know this is how you do it. But everything before that was building
a
up.
Piece of a puzzle and all of them just came together.
Yeah. Everything just came together, and that happened last year. So, but at core, it's about understanding what you. At core, it's about, if I have to break it down into steps, right? Which it's all start with what is the vision, right? What is that you want to create,
right?
And to create, what are different roles in the world will come together to create it. Then you need to create. So once you have the people together, it's not enough. You need to create a culture of creativity.
Correct.
Where people come, discuss, and talk a lot of ideas.
Correct.
And test them together, right? And then it's the matter of iteration, a matter of time before you create it. So it's as simple. But when you actually execute this, the tough part is to bring everyone in your vision.
Yeah.
Convince them that you are the man who can do it.
Finding the right people.
Finding the right people is one part of the puzzle. Even if you found the right people, they might not come. If they come, they might not be sold on a vision. They'll come for different motivations, different incentives. So you have to bring them for the cause.
Correct.
Right? If they come for the cause, then you have to make them work in a team. So, like, we play a lot of FIFA, right?
Yeah.
And I absolutely love Madrid as a team because all of them are highly egoistical folks playing together. But that team is able to make them play together, right? There is some magic to what they are doing, that those 11 people come together and play, and they never lose match, right? Always they win the Champion League. And so that is also very, very tough part. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about some fun stuff. The recent trend, actually, it's not a recent trend. It's been going on for years, but really like absurd characters in the world getting attention. People getting excited. Like, for example, I'll take an example of Puneet Superstar. You know that guy? The meme guy who.
Okay. No, I know Orry.
Orry, for example.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing person.
Orry, for example. Poonam Pandey, for example.
Yeah.
The Tapri Chai Wala, what is that? The guy who made with Bill Gates.
Yeah. Okay.
The Vada Pav girl. There's so many. Of such ones. There's this kid who's getting famous. What's his dialogue? What's his dialogue? Sapne dekhna achhi baat hai.
Oh damn, shit.
So there are so many of these different kind of characters that are so unique.
Yeah.
That just get this virality. Why do you think people are so excited to see, or why do you think people want to amplify these people? Take Orry, for example. Why is it, what is so fascinating about Orry?
Story.
What story? Like,
He's a master of intrigue. Right? Like, we are curious.
Yeah.
It's just tapping into that one nature of human.
True.
Right? Nobody knows where he comes from. And that's wants us to know more about him. So he's a master strategist. He's amazing.
Did you see that there was this recent Swiggy ad that was made? They had basically like when they were launching their group order.
Yeah. No, I have not seen.
You have not seen it?
No.
It's basically all of these meme characters that they put together in one room. Like, for example, even that guy, Darshan, who does that auto-tune singing.
Yeah.
Bro, what are you saying, bro?
Man,
Gotta keep up.
I should keep up, dude. Shit.
So
Consuming wrong content, I think.
They're probably consuming right content only if I haven't seen these people. But unfortunately, we have to go through all of that. Wow. But what about these people? Like, for example, Bill Gates made that video with that chai wala.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what is it that about that guy that's so fascinating?
Not really sure.
No.
I could definitely come up.
Narrow it down, but then it'll take time.
Yeah. I don't even remember the video, actually. You can show me maybe. But yeah. There is this influencer. She makes her own fashion. She makes her own clothes and apparels and everything.
Is it Nancy Tyagi by any chance?
Not Nancy Tyagi. Not.
Okay.
Like you can see that her claim to fame is that, right? And like the other people who are influencers are very different from her. Right?
Correct.
Like, so I think what makes her is being herself, right? And I think a lot of people who are creators and who are able to communicate their true self are being appreciated, right? Like, I think a lot of creators just try to show a lot of good sides of them.
Not the authentic side.
Not the authentic side. And authentic only doesn't mean talking good and positive.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging the dark and bad sides of you and being there.
Correct.
And being okay with it is what, at least in real life also, I feel is very attractive and charismatic for people, right? Like, if you can be okay with what is fucked up with you. So I at least get attracted or motivated or curious about those kind of people, that what makes them so confident, because everyone has their missing piece, that weakness. Everyone has their own insecurities, right? But I think that is a very big thing.
Yeah. Authenticity is
So
interesting.
When I see a character who is all positive on social media, all good on social media, I tend to lose interest in long term.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Even I've realized that looking at people just sharing positivity, positive stories and all that, it just gets exhausting.
What do you feel being a creator?
Being a creator, what do I feel about what?
Like, how should you be on the camera? Because I have not been on camera, right? Like, this is my perception from the outside.
Yeah.
You are the man.
See, for me, it's much easier, right? Because there are two types of creators. One is like people are watching for the person, right? Which is, say, the lifestyle creators who are doing vlogs or sharing their life. And the other type of creator is me, where people are coming to learn. They're coming with a purpose, right? So
the entire narrative is
the narrative is different.
Yeah.
But if I am to combine me with what I'm talking about, then that is a killer combination as well. But I don't necessarily need to do that.
The reason they're consuming your content
is the content itself and not necessarily me, right? Over time that reputation builds and that respect builds for people, that they start trusting me more and more and more, right?
Yeah.
That is the biggest difference that I see between the creators that we're talking about and say the kind of content I do.
Damn.
Right? Okay, but moving on from that, right now the trend that I'm seeing, and a big part of why Barely Opinionated also happened was because that, like every Tom, Dick and Harry right now is sort of jumping into the agency business. And that is simply because, like, a student from some college did a few content pieces online.
Yeah.
One of them got very viral, and it's suddenly like, wow, I can do content. And
Yeah.
if I can do content for myself, I can do it for brands as well.
Yeah.
What do you think of those people?
Being ambitious is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, I was young when I started my agency.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
So I won't discourage them. But like, it doesn't make them great or good. Definitely a good entry to their career.
Yeah.
And definitely barrier to entry for these kind of work is much lower. There is no actual barrier.
There's no barrier to entry.
There is more. You can start telling yourself stories that you are great at something. So it's good and bad both. I think it's harmful for the ecosystem, the market.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are lowering the cost. A lot of people are not providing that quality.
Yeah. And have you seen that impact on your business?
Definitely.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. But also a few of them will come out to be great. Right? So, like, not necessarily bad or not necessarily good. But again, if you ask me how to do it, take some experience.
It's not about how to do it, but
yeah.
Would you even recommend them doing it? Is my question. Like, for example, if someone were to come to me and ask me the same thing, based on what I've learned in my last 4-5 years, I would tell them absolutely not, right? So, would you say the same thing, or would you have a different answer?
I was a stubborn kid, highly egotistical with false sense of confidence that I'll kill it, and I'll change the world. And I jumped into things I didn't know, but I figured it out, right? So I don't think it's wrong. I think if you feel like you do it, always try to be critical about yourself, though. Try to understand if you're really adding value or not, and if you're not, keep improving, keep pushing yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now tell me a little bit about the sort of work that you do. How is it that you are able to manage all of these? Now, again, before I get into that question, before that, is running an agency all about like a networking game? Like, if you have good network, can you make an agency? That is what I have sort of understood in my journey, right? Like, networking can get you to a lot of places, right? Like, if you're not a good creator, if you're not that big, and if you have enough network, you could be working with the biggest brands.
I think relationships are anyway the longest term strategy, right? Like the Rothschild
family.
There is one more family, right?
There are many. DuPont. What are they into? Which family?
Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Like
name Rockefeller. Yeah. Okay.
Rockefeller, right? Like I think one of I was listening to what made them special. So someone in that family, I don't remember the name, would open up the book. Whenever he would meet someone, after meeting, he'll open up the book and write about that person, right? So that he remembers, and even keep that book so that he can build the relationship. Yeah, refer and build the relationship. So I think people who are at highest level are greatest when it comes to building relationships, right? So I think relationship and networking is anyway the biggest weapon to grow in any part of things, any career, any place. Having said that, that is not the only way you can get business. For us, at least for first 3-4 years, most of it was inbound, right? But networking makes it much easier. Yeah. So we got a lot of business because we were focused on creating great product, great service for our customers, and that would create word of mouth, a buzz in the market. So I would not actually go out and meet people. I still will have a lot of business. But over time I realized that like adding great product with great networking is a superpower. Then you can grow much faster, get into places where you will take a lot more time, right? And have the impact of your company much faster. So definitely, I mean, networking on the highest pedal, but not the only way.
Not the only thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. So again, coming back to what I was going to ask you is that you've been doing it for 7 years, and again, this is all a relationship game, right? Even when you're servicing the client, it's kind of, and you've spoken a lot about this very passionately, which is the client experience or the customer experience that you talk about. What does that mean for you, and like, why is it that you think the customer likes you?
Look, for the large part of my career, I focused on building great service. We did that, and yet suddenly 3 years ago we realized a lot of customers left us. And then again 2 years ago a lot of customers left us, and recently also a lot of customers left us. So when I started thinking deeply, I realized that we didn't really build a lot of relationships with them. We provided them what we promised, but that was not enough, right? Like, especially in agency business, the customer comes from the position of power. They like to feel great. They like to feel that
they are the power.
They are not really. I'm not saying power in the negative sense, but they come from position of the business itself, right? They don't only feel but also have more understanding of what they are doing, and like they dictate from that POV. It's our job as a company to be partner to them, right? That's what I mean by customer experience.
Got it.
Like, we always strive that we try to understand the customer, what they want to do, and from there operate, right? So what was the question?
Question was, how is it that having done this for so long, you talk about customer experience a lot. What does that mean to you? What is that customer experience, and why is it that people in agencies or clients in agencies stick?
Yeah, so earlier we would not spend a lot of time building relationships, right? The customer comes from a place where they understand their business better, from the position of where they dictate how to do things, right? And we'll do a lot of things, but we'll not really go into the mind of the customer and try to understand a lot of things. We'll not really go and spend time with them. What are their mission? What are their vision, right? Which we do now actively. For us, the idea is to become a partner of a customer, like truly understanding in long term where do they want to head, and what are the things we can contribute to, right? And then we actively pitch for that and try to take business. So that's the customer experience.
What is one company or brand that you think has very shitty product but amazing market?
I think a lot of businesses, a lot of SMEs have great product.
Okay.
A lot of them, but they are not able to talk about themselves.
Because of money. Do you think money plays a big role in marketing?
Not really. It does, sure.
Yeah, it does.
It does. I mean, you can buy distribution, but doesn't mean you can buy good messaging. Right? So
yeah, true.
Yeah. It's not just how many people see you. It's like if it's felt.
How many people connect with you?
Yes. Felt, that's the most powerful way of marketing. So
okay. And the other way around, shitty product, great marketing?
So, to take the example, Apple doesn't spend a lot of money on marketing.
Okay.
Right? It does a lot, especially in distribution.
Right.
It doesn't spend on the contrary, the entire design is around creating the mystique in the
product.
Mystique in their marketing.
Acha, okay.
Right? Like, even they push their launches where they reveal it and create that connection and everything else, which today is much harder, but back then they would not spend a lot of things. They'll buy most premium places, but unlike some brands we see today, they are trying to be everywhere and trying to do everything. They try to take a few things but do it very, very effectively, right? So maybe their budgets are a lot, but I'm pretty sure there are brands who have much bigger budgets than Apple. Still, Apple makes most money.
Correct.
compared to their contracts, right? Uh, you said which have great product but not
No, shitty product but great market.
shitty product. I like to trash Samsonite.
Oh, why?
I bought the product.
Hmm.
It didn't last. I mean, I'm still using the same product. It's not bad, but they claim to have they claim that they'll exchange the product. When I went to their customer service store, they didn't really. Right? They made so many excuses.
You're right.
And well, I'm sure it's a big company and they do great work, but with me they didn't. So I'll take that.
Okay, last bit of our conversation.
Having said this, sorry,
You
you know Skull Candy.
Oh, so what happened to Skull Candy? I forgot about it.
Exactly. Yeah. What kills Skull Candy? Or meat?
Bro, I think there were too many counterfeits of
Skull Candy.
Skull Candy and Beats both had too many counterfeits. Like, for example, I remember a decade ago only, there was this e-commerce called Shop Clues. I don't know if you guys...
But that's a good thing.
Having counterfeit?
Yes.
No, I'll tell you why it's not a good thing. We have a very good example in front of us.
Okay.
Jordans. Jordans were...
Yeah, we were talking about it.
We were talking about it yesterday, right? Like, very high value. Like, prices were soaring because of how limited it was.
Yeah.
But now that it's so easily... the counterfeits are so easily available, which are so close to the originals that you can't, like... Naked eye, you can't make out which is what, right?
Yeah.
That's why Jordan prices have come down drastically.
I mean, I think it's also a business decision, but sure. I mean, I agree to your
What is your
reason.
What is your other?
I think the counterpart makes more of market for you. That means it's aspiring for people to buy that. They so much that they go and buy counterfeit, right? So that means there is a lot more desire of that product. So which is good.
But you're not getting any money. You make a product.
Yeah.
The product has counterfeit. People are moving towards counterfeit because they probably can't afford you or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. But then once you can afford it, would you?
No. Now, so now, for example, I was a Jordan enthusiast as well.
Yeah.
Until 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Then I started seeing these counterfeit shoes. I was like, and I bought one of them just to test them out.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is like same shit, bro. No one can make out the difference. Why should I spend 15-20K on Jordans?
Damn.
Then I was just lost interest in shoes. Like, I was just like, what's the point?
Sure. No, makes sense. I mean, so I'm not disagreeing with your argument. I'm sure it's hurting the market also. And that's why they try to aggressively control that.
Correct.
But also, like, specifically for Skull Candy case, I don't think it's the...
It's not the... What is it? What do you think?
I just think they had shitty product. I think, so, I went to Manipal and then there was a store in the college, and then I went there and I saw this beautiful looking headphones lying there with a skull on it. And
that was the coolest shit.
Yeah, that was cool as like I'm having this. So they absolutely nailed their branding, right? When then I bought it. Eventually I bought it, and when I used it, it's good. It sounded well and everything. I couldn't make a lot of difference from my last. It was better, but it didn't last. But in a couple of months, it just broke down, and then I never went back to that brand. So I just feel they didn't have great product for me. To keep me on the look.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, last bit of my conversation that I want to talk about is influencers in your industry, right? Like, for example, I told you, people make one reel, it'll get viral, and then they are like, yeah, I know how to make short form content. And there are a lot of them coming up on LinkedIn, coming up on Instagram, giving people tips to make six figures in a month and crack 7-figure clients and all of that. I'm sure you also come across a bunch of those.
Yes.
Opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I met this kid, some 19-year-old chap, and so I was in a meeting with a couple of people, and he was also there. And that day, I happened to buy an iPhone. So I was unpacking it on the table, and everyone was there. And we were like, most of us knew each other, so I was comfortable doing it. And this guy is very curious. He comes to me and then he says, "Can I click a photo of this?" And he clicks a photo of it. I'm like, "Okay, sure." And then within 1 hour, I see he posted that I bought a new iPhone.
Wow.
And and learn how to become successful and buy an iPhone.
Wow.
19-year-old. So a lot of people have this motivation to make money to do that,
Yeah.
which is absolutely wrong.
Mm.
I think I'm pretty sure there are few who want to add value.
Right.
So I'm all pro for those people, but who are doing shady shit are doing shady shit.
Mm-hmm. Have you come across a lot of them?
Fortunately, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people who do a lot of shady shit.
Give us one, bro.
Give us one.
Tell us one story.
I just gave. Eventually, I saw this guy posting photos with helicopter,
Oh.
car.
Wow.
And, very honestly, he made money.
Huh.
Like, we are very easily influenced by what we see.
Correct.
We don't really try to go deeper into things. Right? And he's doing well for himself.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Any last message? Because these are people that are watching.
Okay.
I haven't asked you actually one very important question.
Okay.
This question you've never answered for me, and I want the answer today.
Oh, damn.
How much money does your company make?
How much money does my company?
Yeah. What is your revenue?
Do I have to answer now?
Yeah. On paper, on record, everything.
Yeah, here and there we make a few million every year.
Oh, wow. Few million.
Few million, yeah.
Just a casual...
Yeah, we make a few million in dollars, and I think so. Like, just because I got the stage now, I'll take the liberty from doing performance marketing to becoming a media and content company. Right? We have like 100x, 1000x our vision. So the way I see it is that next 2 years or 3 years, we'll be uplifting the ecosystem of marketing in this entire country.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the new Insane Labs, apart from the agency business, we are building networks where we are bringing amazing people together. So one of the IPs or one of the initiatives we are doing is called Insane Conversations, where we are bringing great leaders and personalities together in one room and building a community of 5,000 people in the country.
Wow.
We have already started with women only club,
Right.
and then soon we'll mix the two, and then we are also getting into smaller experiences, giving people reason to connect and everything. So the idea now is to not just be a simpler, smaller agency, but to actually work on the ecosystem, and rather than thinking inward, think outward and help the ecosystem grow in the effort you grow.
Do you think you'd be bigger than... I mean, I'm sure you would have the vision, but then do you think you'll be able to compete with Shabang and the likes of it?
I feel so. I feel that like there's a good chance we'll become the company, if not one of the company for sure.
Very cool. And I'm excited to witness and see that journey happen.
Yeah, you're part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
We got to do it together.
Yes, we got it. Okay, awesome. Last message to people that are watching. These are people that are probably want to get into marketing, are into marketing, running performance agencies, in performance marketing. What do you want to tell them? You have two curious agency folks here who, one into production, one into marketing, who want to probably be like you.
Oh, damn.
Who want to be building a multi-million-dollar agency, bro. Tell them.
Yeah, the more we can realize it's about others, it's not about you. The faster you grow in every area of your life. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, awesome. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to check him out. Where can they catch up with you? Where can they hit you up? Instagram?
My Instagram is insane.aman. You can follow me. I'm trying to put a lot of content there. I've been doing it.
So follow him on insane.aman and make sure to subscribe, like, share. Thank you.